Ready Player 2 fit to be read? I haven't finished reading the book yet, but I'm ready to answer the question. When I finish the book, I'll do a 5 likes and 5 dislikes review, but for now, I'm going to preemptively state 1 like and 1 dislike, and then I'll touch briefly on some of my first impressions. I enjoyed the original Ready Player 1. More than my own enjoyment of it, I love that it's one of the few books that my 11-year-old will read and reread and reread and watch the movie and watch the movie again. He loves that book, and I love that about this book. It really was a fun ride. My first like is the reference to Neuromancer and allusions to Gibson's StimSims and frankly Microsoft's. And while I love the reference, I also do feel it is maybe a little bit borderline swiping from Gibson versus really being an homage to his masterpiece. While I'm at it, I'm not sure how comfortable I am in the originality department with the spider-like brain interface Oni device wrapping around the cranium. I love this look the first time I saw it in other things and other films. About 130 pages in, we get even more Neuromancer references, and it's just like, okay already. I do love seeing Dixie Flatline dropped in there too, even if it is Gibson gushing at that point. Dislike 1. This is the low-hanging fruit and really just too easy. Dislike number 1 is over-the-top 80s nostalgia and name-dropping, not to mention needle-dropping. Even in just the first 10 or so pages, we get Max Headron, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, etc. It overwhelms the story way too much, and in a way that it did not in Ready Player 1. By mid-book, it's nauseating. Even in Chapter 8, we're talking about the same model phone Ferris Bueller's friend was using in the movie. It's way too much. You can love the 80s and drip all over it, but every other line does not need to be a reminder. Some other first impressions? There's no chance that somebody reads this book and prefers it to the original. Likewise, if you didn't like the original, you definitely will not like this one. I wouldn't even give this one a chance if that's the case. The story does evolve from the first book. And for those who love the first book, there's an opportunity to view this evolution positively. RP2 marries RP1 with Avatar-like virtual reality, and to some, that will be a match made in heaven, despite some of the other serious failings of the sequel. I appreciate that Cline waded into topics of gender, with I believe good intention and attempts to be respectful, but my God, is it cringeworthy when he's connecting gender identity so specifically with sex. It is a brutal fail. I'll get more into that when I do a 5 likes and 5 dislikes review, as well as note another more positive instance of commentary regarding sexuality and acceptance later in the book. If you love the first book and have been looking for something else to capture that same entertainment with a similar plot, action, pacing, conflict, this book is your best and closest bet. I do believe my 11-year-old will tear through this, and I believe most who read the first book and couldn't put it down will have a similar experience with this book. For this reason, and because I like to think I'm fair, despite this sequel really not being my cup of tea, Ready Player 2 is fit to be read. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.